We are so excited to introduce to you our new line of bodywork tools that we call Elemental Accessories. This is a line of metal tools that are both a Teishin and Enshin designs, and we're going to be going through all of the designs today so you can see a little bit about each one of them and why each one of them has a special quality and something that is super inviting for use with animals, or of course you can also use these tools with people. These tools were made by my son, who has a long history of working with metals and jewelry and product design. And we were so excited to bring him in on this project because he knew that he could take the traditional Teishin and Enshin designs, which were more designed to be used in kind of a pristine environment of a like a human acupuncture clinic, where it's fine to have a super finicky tool because everything is kind of perfect and orderly. We know that we are working out in barns and on people's living room floors and in all sorts of rough and tumble situations. And so we needed to have tools that have slightly different designs because they're for a slightly different purpose. And because of that, Jacob has designed this full line of options for us, and we can't wait to tell you about every single one of them. Okay, let's start with the Sunshine Teishin because it's definitely the first that you created, and it really set off the whole line.
Yeah, so basically with the Sunshine Teishin, this was the first design of these that I did, and I wanted to make one that was basically based off a traditional Teishin, but just upgraded to have better ergonomics. So basically the main changes that I've made to it are the length is significantly longer, even 2 to 3 times longer than some traditional Teishin, which means it just seats in your hand better.
Yeah, this really feels good.
Also, I've given it a hammered texture surface on the brass here, and that just means it grips better in your hand. So if your hands are sweaty or any mud or anything on your hands, you'll just get a much better purchase on this than the really polished surfaces of most other Teishin. And then I've also given it 2 separate working ends, so that I just felt that if in most Teishin that both ends are basically the same, and it just seemed like a waste to me. So you have both the ability to do point work and the ability to do gentle massage or stroking with this kind of spade end on this one. And this is made out of a lead-free brass, so as long as you don't have any copper allergy, this is really safe, clean metal to use.
And what I want to say as far as use is the animals love this, but the people are loving it too. So what's really exciting is that when you put it in your hand, it just feels like it belongs there. It feels very stable. You can kind of hold it like a pencil, and it just, as you're kind of coming on the surface of the animal, the person, whoever, it just feels like it belongs there. And the other thing that I find is that it kind of has this glow to it, and it really just seems to kind of get your energy going in a super gentle, super harmonious way. And so pretty much everybody who has picked this tool up has said, I want one, just because it just feels that good when you use it.
So here we have what we're calling the Moonglow Enshin. And with this design, basically what I wanted to do is make a tool that had the traditional kind of Enshin form factor, but much, much lighter. And the way I did that is this is made from an aerospace grade aluminum, and so it has a real nice fit into your hand with being this big, but it just feels very light and nimble. It has some filed grooves for extra grip, and then you have this kind of angular surface like a pen or a pencil. It just feels very intuitive with the hand. If you know how to write with a pencil or a pen, this will just feel natural to you.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's fairly unique on this tool is the surface texture here. This is a hand-filed finish, And that's something you really don't see on almost any modern products because it takes a lot of skilled labor to do. And it gives it this kind of nice, soft, very subtle grip to it.
It almost feels like fabric. It's interesting
it's
how that is.
it's a it's one of those things you almost just kind of have to have it in your hand if you've not handled something like that to feel it. But everyone who picks this up just instantly really likes how it feels. And then as with all the other tools we have, you have the point working end that works really nicely. And then you also have this wider end that you can either use for more of an area work or gentle stroking or gentle pressure. And we've even had some of our students use the angled sides here.
Yeah, why don't I show that on the... So they were coming along, and you can actually just kind of come through the tissue. And you can go super, super light just to kind of get a broad contact, or you can even press a little bit, and so you're kind of in the direction of a gua sha tool.
Yep. And then, with the high-grade aluminum here, this thing is just completely bomb-proof as far as being sturdy. So, so we offered the kind of the starter kit with the two of these. They really complement each other really well.
You have kind of a yin and a yang tool. Yep. They really are a nice combo.
And then you have kind of the narrow, kind of longer tool, and then the shorter, kind of bulkier tool that just work really well together. So now we got the Sparkle Enshin, and with this design, basically what I was doing was almost kind of making a hybrid of these other two, the Sunshine and the Moonglow. And so where you'll notice that is you have the same working ends essentially as the Sunshine Teishin, where you have a point end and kind of this spade end for massage and stroking. And then you have pretty much the same kind of body shape and size as the Moonglow Teishin or Enshin, and the surface texture is also that hand filed feel that really just has just has a really really nice feel to it. Almost kind of feels like wood or fabric.
Yeah.
So with this one, this is made out of copper, and then it has this twist in here, which is just kind of fun, and it actually it looks a little like it might not feel good in the hand, but then when you actually have it in there, you can see it just kind of twists in there with your fingers when you're holding it.
Really
and it just kind of locks into your fingers.
And it's very soft too. The edges aren't at all harsh. It feels very comfortable.
And then just with the fact that this has a much broader spade than the Sunshine one, I had enough room here to put a lanyard hole, and this really it doesn't affect the use at all, but it just gives you another option if you're maybe in a barn and you want to have a lanyard around your wrist so you can get your hand free, or if you wanted to put this on a keychain or something
like if you put it on a chain and then put it in your pocket,
definitely.
It would be a really good way to keep it secure.
So this is a really good, I would say, kind of all-rounder, given that it is it is, again, it combines a lot of the best things on our two most popular designs.
And the other thing that I thought was really interesting, when I saw this, I thought it might be a little too heavy to use on a smaller animal. And when I've been using it, even on the cats who are fairly intolerant of kind of being messed with, or they're very finicky and demanding on what they like, the cats have loved this one. So even though they're a very small animal and they're very sensitive, as long as you use this really gently and respectfully, they love it. So it really is a great all-rounder tool.
Here we have the Midnight Teishin, and this one's a lot of fun. So basically with this, what I wanted to do was I've seen that on the market there's a lot of stainless steel Teishin, and basically all of them are just like these really cheap
mass marketed ones.
They're not well made or well designed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, a lot of animals and people actually really like the feel of using a stainless steel tool. It has a good weight to it. And it has kind of a softer, gentler feel than some of the...
It's very subtle.
Than some of the kind of sparkier materials there. And so I wanted to make a high-end Teishin that was in stainless steel. And so this is in some overlap in form with the Sunshine Teishin. Again, you have that point working end. And while this does have a spade, this is more of a hook shape. And so that can be used in a different ways here. So you can get this kind of longer strokes here.
Feels really nice.
You can use the edge even to do very like gentle scraping, which can feel really good. You can even use this end to scrape a bit as well. And then this does have the kind of hand hammered finish like the Sunshine one. So it has really good grip in the hand.
But my favorite part is the iridescent color.
Yeah, so
how'd you do that?
So this is actually... the ends here are forged, and then after I polish it, I actually blue this using heat, which gives this really fun iridescent finish.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a ton of function to that on a stainless tool because it's pretty much impervious to the elements already, but it just has such a fun look that I really wanted to give it that unique style.
But the feel of this one is really different. I was really surprised with this one. The other tools kind of instantly, you can feel their energy. Like you said, a little sparkier. Whereas this one is quite quiet and very subtle. And I've found it's a really perfect tool if you're working with a super sensitive animal or an animal that's very responsive to energetic work, or if your work as a practitioner is really... kind of more energetic and you've kind of cultivated those skills. It is just perfect for the more energetic session.
Yeah, and then the final note here, also on the stainless, while it's not just preferred by some people due to how it feels, it is actually hypoallergenic. So you're very unlikely to have people or yourself have any allergic reaction to it. So it's really good for that use as well.
Great.
So... this is the Unicorn Enshin, and this one is significantly different than the other ones in the sense that, and you can just see even next to the next largest and heaviest one, the Sparkle one, it is significantly heavier and larger. Now, the thinking behind this tool was basically, this is designed for working on animals or people who really need and like that really high intensity. So anyone or any animal that likes really high pressure massage, that kind of real intense work, this is really for them. So this just has, you can even use just the weight of it if you're working downwards.
Yeah, gravity does the work.
That's enough. And then, so you also, again, you typically just, you have your point working end, and then you have this end, which... this can actually really be used as a massage and pressure tool. Then you do have a hand-hammered texture here for nice grip. It's a slightly different pattern than the other two hammered tools. So it feels a little different, but also really good.
Yeah.
And then, this is work-hardened bronze. So this is certainly the sturdiest of all the tools. I would say the only thing to really note with it as far as being different, the people and animals who really like that really high intensity work, they're going to love this. This is going to be their favorite. More sensitive animals and people actually may not like being worked on with this. So
like, whoa, that's a lot.
Depending, who you're working on, this may not be the one you want to have as your only one.
Yeah.
This is one that's wonderful to be able to pull out when you need it.
Yeah.
For who loves it, and but for those who don't need it, you may be better. You're well served like combining it with one of the other ones.
Yeah.
So you want to talk more?
So one thing that I love about this tool is we have one family member who really likes deep pressure, and I often find that my thumbs get fatigued in doing that work. And what's amazing with this tool is I can absolutely go in as deeply as this person prefers, without any stress, without any pressure. It doesn't hurt my joints or whatever. So it can really be
reduce
something
fatigue,
that reduces
fatigue,
all sorts of body fatigue that you can get as a body worker. So that is one of the greatest things I think about the Unicorn.
I agree.
It has been so fun sharing with you all of the information about our new elemental accessories lines. Our Teishin and Enshin will absolutely make a difference for you. But before you go, make sure that you know that you have the full access to our free resource. That is a PDF that goes through how to use a Teishin, a little bit about the history of these tools, as well as more information about the tools in our shop. And of course, if you want to take one of those tools home for yourself, the Elemental Acupressure shop link is down below as well. But before you go, tell me how you think you might use these elemental acupressure tools in your life. Do you think you're going to be using it in your professional life, where you can maybe use it for your bodywork sessions or with animals that are in your training or care? Or maybe you're just a super dedicated animal caregiver and you want the absolute best for the animals in your life. Whatever it is, it's going to be great, but tell me down below because I would love to know.